Quail log, May the 4th, 2023. So somebody had the force with them earlier today, and so when I came down tonight, I opened the door and I had a quail fly at me. It made it probably about 2 feet in the air and was flying, and then landed and ran back in a corner. And then I looked down and I saw another quail sitting on the floor looking at me, and then I looked up at this cage, and I noticed these first two sections here were sitting on the floor. There was at least one quail that was sitting in the tray at the time, and I had no idea where all my quail were. So I got quite surprised when I came down tonight. Turns out I had at least two quail that went running and were running around my shed. So I finally had my biggest fear happen, is that I had quail running around my shed and I had to catch them. Luckily they weren't too hard to catch. They kept coming out to check on me, so as soon as they came out from behind stuff on the side of the shed, I was able to pick them up and go put them back into the cage after I put the stuff back together. The one thing I did find is that when I was looking this section right here, we found that one of the splay legs had its wing caught through the bars here and was flopping around. After doing a little more investigation, we can see that there was there's a little more blood down in here. I think I can see a little bit of it there. So my guess is that one of the splay legs got into a tray and then pushed its wing up through one of the slots and got it stuck, and when it started really flopping around, it knocked the tops loose and made it so the others could get out. I'm not sure how it did that, or I'm not sure how it went from possibly here to over here, but that was what I found when I got down here, because I had found one of the splay legs was here. By the time I got it free and then I dealt with getting the other two back in, we realized I had get additional help down here, and we realized that one splay leg had broke its wing in multiple places and was not standing and was just flopping around all the time. I decided that was about the time that I was going to put it down. It wasn't, and I had enough problems with it already being a splay leg that I knew that trying to deal with the broken wing was more than it was going to be able to deal with. And I decided that was at that point it was easier to put it down than try to do any nursing to it. So at this point I'm now down to 10 birds in there, and I still have the one that I think is sitting right here that is also in pretty bad shape and does not walk as well, or it's one of the ones back there. So I've got two left that are not doing well. They're not as big as the other ones were, or I had two left that were not doing well, and they were not as big as the other birds were. So now I've only got the one. Its wings are always at strange angles, and it moves a little strange, so I'm not sure how much longer it's going to survive. As of right now, as long as it can eat and drink, I'm going to leave it in there, but hopefully I don't come down and find more birds wandering all over the place. Luckily, most of them are too large to fit into the food tray now, so they just eat normally, but I'm definitely going to have to watch them more and make sure that I've got the food trays locked down fairly well, and make sure I've got the doors locked down fairly well. So that was not exactly what I expected to come down here to do. I was planning on just coming down and playing my chanter for a little bit before trying to take care of the birds and do everything, and ended up having to put one of the birds down and catch two birds running around. So that was definitely an interesting start to my evening that I was not expecting. So from here, let's go see how everyone else is doing. When I looked at my pharaohs earlier, they were doing all right, though as you can see, I believe that's yellow in front of me. I'm just amazed at how much feathers she's lost, and yet she still seems to be in good spirits. And seems to be, or at least was laying eggs last I knew, because I thought she was one of the ones that has the bigger spots. Right now, let's verify no new eggs have come out. Nope, no new eggs. So for tonight, I got 4 from the crew down below. I think this one would go with the, is related to that, but I could be wrong. But normally it's one of these speckled, or the darker spots is what I would classify as yellows. So I'm not terribly worried. I only got 2 from the middle row, so there's 2 eggs missing from the top row tonight, and then there's 1 egg missing from the middle row. Though it's right now only 8:30, so I still may get another egg before the evening is done. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure if the birds were out and running around for a while, they've definitely disturbed everyone for the day. And we'll just have to see what comes out of it. Hopefully it didn't disturb them too much and won't change their egg laying more than a day or 2. But we'll have to wait and see. Everyone seems to have enough food and seems to be doing all right. So that's where we are for tonight. Definitely an exciting evening. And we'll see where they're at tomorrow. Good night.